guys, welcome back to my channel, The Last Kingdom Season 4, Episode 7. I'm not going to really give a huge recap of what went down last episode because I am binging it right now and I like to save my thoughts for after the episode. So, quick rundown. Ethelred died. There was a fight between the Eldermen and everybody else, basically, that they needed to choose a successor and they were fighting over who should be the successor. So Edward, with the advice of Ethelhelm, for some reason, I don't know why Ethelhelm chose Eardwulf, whatever his name is. Not sure why he chose him specifically. Maybe they're working together. That's what I hypothesized, but he chose him at the end of the day. He was going to become the new successor. When Eardwulf went to Ethelred was like, no, I have a bad feeling about you. You're not going to be the successor. And Eardwulf killed Ethelred. So that was basically everything that went down when they were trying to find Elfwin, who is sick with the fever that is spreading. Edith stepped in and basically told all of Eardwulf's fellow guard members that he was the one that killed Ethelred and there was proof, and she did the whole thing. So as of right now, Edith, Uhtred, and all of them, the gang that we know, are safe for now until Eardwulf potentially comes back, but I don't think that he's going to come back. I don't think he's going to go back to Mercia or back to Edward, wherever Edward is, because Edward did not really give Eardwulf permission to go hunt down Elfwin. So he advised him to stay. So I don't think that Edward, he's really on good terms with Edward either. So I don't know. And then we saw a little glimpse of Brida. She's still a slave. And we just got word that the Irish Vikings from Ireland, or the Danes from Ireland I should say, are coming to raid them. And yeah, maybe they'll be Brida's last hope. Maybe they'll save Brida, find her a way out, and something will happen there. Because we saw in the beginning of the season, the first scene, the Irish Danes were the ones that attacked Bebbanburg, and they failed to do so. So, maybe because they failed that first time, that will be a reason for them to join with Uhtred, perhaps? That's what I'm predicting. That's like a very out there prediction, but that's what I'm going to predict. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to shut up and get right into the episode. So, without further ado, let's get into episode 7. So this episode kind of changes everything based on the new ruler of Mercia being Uhtred. I'm not surprised that he took that deal because the whole Bebbanburg situation, whether that happens this season or not, it's kind of a reach right now. It's kind of a stretch unless he gets more men. And there was no reason, no way for him to get more men. But Edward gave him this little proposition, said if you rule here for a few years, you're really liked by the people. If you rule here, I'll give you riches, I'll give you the men that you need to take back Bebbanburg, I'll give you whatever you want. And I think it's a win-win-win because Uhtred gets to settle down, his kids are safe, everyone's safe. Ethelfled can be the queen or whatever until a new person comes of age. And then Elfwin was saved. She's not dying of the fever anymore, so she can just be wed off when she's actually of age and not a child anymore. She can be wed off to a proper suitor who is good. The only issue would come if they couldn't find a proper suitor or another Eardwulf situation happened where he's a piece of shit. Or Ethelred, I should say. So that's the only way I could see this going downhill. But that was a pretty good proposition for Edward. I'm respecting Edward a little bit more in his decision making this episode because I feel like after he got rid of Ethelhelm, he's starting to think a little bit more for himself. I should say a lot more for himself because he realized a little bit late, but it wasn't too late because he was able to kind of fix the situation that seemingly had no solution, and they were just going to beat Uhtred to death to get the answer of where Elfwin was when they were coming to return her anyway. So Edward realized that Ethelhelm was acting based off of little things that Edward would say, not really actual commands or orders that he gave, which was not correct. He realized that he was being sneaky, and I guess Edward took the thoughts and advice from everybody that he was talking to, which was Elswith. He was talking to Uhtred, and he he gathered that Ethelhelm was not the trusted person, the trusted advisor that he thought he was. I don't know where Ethelhelm was sent to. He just said to get out of here and go to Wessex, or was it Winchester? He told him to basically go home. And I don't really know what's going to happen now, because Edward solved the situation there, so he's going to go back to Wessex. Ethelhelm is going to be in Wessex, so I think he's probably going to deal with him next episode when he goes back. But now I'm thinking there's 3 episodes left of the season. What conflict really exists that wasn't solved thus far? I mean, there's the problem of Bebbanburg, which I don't really know if that'll be solved this season even. There's the problem of Brida, who seeks revenge on Uhtred, and rightfully so. I would be pissed as hell if I, asked to be sent to Valhalla, endured all this stuff in my life, and then was condemned to, I don't know how long it was, probably like a couple weeks, months, that she was a slave, and she was pregnant nonetheless, so she risked the life of her baby by being a slave, and I'd be pissed at Uhtred too. So she seeks revenge on Uhtred. I was going to say that they were going to team up maybe and fight back for Bebbanburg, for old time's sake, but I understand why she would be reasonably pissed off that he did not kill her. But he wouldn't be killing her, he would also be killing the baby inside of her. So did he even know that she was pregnant? I forget if he knew that she was pregnant. But regardless, he would be killing her and her baby, and that was the first baby that she was actually able to have. So it's very important, it's very special to her. But I still understand why she would be seeking revenge against Uhtred, so that is a problem that I'm keeping in the back of my brain. I am very glad that she got rescued this episode and she's out of that whole situation. I don't know how much I could have bared more of seeing her as a slave. I didn't really enjoy it because she's supposed to be this badass character. Even when she was pregnant, she fought in the battle at Tettenhall, so I like seeing her as this badass warrior character even if she's pregnant, which makes her even more badass in my opinion. My camera is about to die, so I'm just going to wrap up my thoughts, predictions for the next couple of episodes. I don't know how Ethelflaed is really going to react to this news. I would think in her position that she would be happy after everything they've been through and everything that has happened thus far. She would want to stay in Mercia. She has this desire to be in Mercia, right? So if she's partners with the ruler of Mercia, the Lord of Mercia, at least for the next couple of years, she should be happy, no? And then it goes on to her children. So, and she gets to choose the successor. So it seems like she was a little bit conflicted with that decision, and I'm confused as to why she would be conflicted. So, I mean, her daughter's saved. It's like a win-win-win. So, I don't know. She should be happy in this situation. And I guess Elswith should be happy too, because she got rid of her problem of Ethelhelm, who was in Edward's ear. Edward seems to be a little bit more clear-minded now. And Uhtred is in charge, which is, Elswith doesn't really like Uhtred, but she respects him for everything that he does, which is very much like Alfred. And Edward is reminding me a little bit more like Alfred now. He's starting to make decisions of his own, and he's starting to realize the actual consequences of certain decisions you make, and he's starting to see a little bit more clearly, I should say. And that is partially due to the influence of Ethelhelm not being a problem anymore, and also partially to him being very open and accepting of other people's thoughts and propositions, and he's starting to go out there and see the consequences of certain actions a little bit more, and he is able to make decisions based off that. That being, he saw that Uhtred was very liked by the town for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they just like Uhtred for his charisma, because he's half Dane, so I don't really know why they would want a person like that to rule. I guess it's just because he's a good person and he's very charismatic. They don't really care about his past and his upbringing, and they saw what he did for Alfred. Would they even know what he did for Alfred? Would that be common knowledge? Because he's not written down in the history books. I guess he by word of mouth he would be honored and recognized and people would know who he was, but in terms of the history books, he's not written down there. So Uhtred is the best suitor to be the Lord of Mercia. Don't really have a lot to predict for the next episode. Kind of just want to get right into it. So I'm going to shut up. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already. And I will see you guys for episode 8. Alright, bye guys.